welcome to Tales from the Shed. And we were just thinking, what are we going to talk about? Wasn't that we were talking about things that are important to us?
Mm.
And Alison, you came up with the idea that the beach is really important to us. And what it's been such a beautiful summer.
Mm.
And I've had this, as I've spoken about on another one, this big thing this year that I've managed to get in the water for the first time for a
Amazing.
long time.
Mm.
So I'm ticking in my mind why the beach is so important, and it's so important to loads of people.
Yeah.
Loads of people that don't live near the beach or go, they still, as soon as it's lovely, they want to go to the beach. Children love the beach. People, even if they live near the beach, they'll go to Ibiza to get to the beach, or they'll go to somewhere. And even if they wrap it with a holiday in Italy, town, or something like that in the middle, it seems to be important for so many people.
I know, it's interesting, isn't it? And it's like, and if you want to buy a house, if it's near the beach, then it's probably twice as much. Or if you want to rent a house,
four times
as much that you're actually going to be by the beach. So all of this, we place a high value on the beach.
Massively high value.
And you've only got to see, obviously, I mean, you know, I live in South Devon, and there have been, well, I just have to give up at some point deciding to go to the beach in the middle of the day. I have to go early or late.
Yeah,
because otherwise the lanes are
down.
completely full. And then you can't get anywhere to park when you get there. So, and I was just kind of thinking, because I bought this wonderful garment, which essentially is a towel
but
in a
dress.
Beautiful. But it's beautiful. Yes, wonderful women. It's what they call Cape Cove. Fantastic. I love you. But and it is that thing of, I could probably live in this all summer. You know, I just go to the beach, have a swim, put the towel on, go to Morrison's, go and hang out. It looks like a dress, you know, that's fine.
Just so much, I don't know, there's something about the beach, and I don't know whether it's the horizon. We don't ever get to see the horizon, really. We get to see parts of it, or we see buildings, or we see landscapes, but you don't often see that horizon line, which you do at the beach.
Yeah.
I'm really fortunate. I have a nice big garden and nice space, but I remember getting back from spending a week at Salcombe and just thinking it feels so crowded in, having come back from those wide spaces. I don't know whether it's that.
Is it uplifting then? Is it nothing because it just feels like there's endless possibility? Because although we know theoretically that France is over there and America is over there, or whatever it is,
we can almost see.
We can't really. I mean, we're not. There's no limits when you look out to sea. I mean, it must be. I mean, it's kind of like, I always kind of think like, but I would be a bit scared because I know you've been sailing where you can't see any land at all.
All directions.
And I'm like going, that feels a bit freaky to me. But I quite like being on the land, and then you can see out to sea.
But there is something about being out at sea, and everywhere you look, every direction, all you can see is the curvature of the earth. That's how far you see. It's just the curvature of the earth. And I think it's maybe the connection that we are part of that earth and nothing else.
Yeah.
But there's also this amazing feeling when you come into land again. It stings. It really smells. You can smell it. When we had a dog on there, they used to be able to smell it really quickly. But if you've been offshore for about 3 or 4 days and you come into somewhere, not a smelly place, it can be a lovely place, but it just has a smell of, I guess, humanity. So maybe it's just that distance off or something like that. I mean, you obviously go into Teesside and it stinks of oil because it's ICI. I don't mean that, but it's just people. You know, it's almost just that smell of, and it's so much warmer.
Yeah,
it's so hot as you get towards land. You really feel it. So maybe it's an esoteric thing that we're just drawn to.
Because I mean, I know there's been research which talks about this whole thing on the blue mind, and the fact that if we go and we look at the sky and the sea, this is supposed to be calming, it's supposed to be quite good for our mental health, all those kind of things.
It always seems to be good for people's mental health. I mean, you love swimming in the sea. Other people just like being unlooking. They don't like the beach because they get sand and things, but they love the view of it, or they love seeing it, or everybody wants to go to the restaurant on the beach that has that view of it. And I don't think I've met many people that have actually said, I really don't care about it.
I know.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, so it is quite iconic, and it's this kind of like it's magical in a way, and you know, just that thing of being able to sit there on the beach and watch the sunset, you know, and then the amazing warm evening that we can just sit there having taken our, you know, our refreshments, I guess.
Or you
and
can be
yeah.
sailing and watch the sunset,
Yeah,
and carry on sailing and watch the sunrise, and carry on sailing and watch the sunset. There's nothing else going on there.
yeah.
And it's also interesting how quick that happens, but that's another story. But maybe we are drawn there, you know, and we're going to get really weird about this and just say maybe there is this other part of us that just knows that we are more than just this lifetime or just this living through.
Yeah, we're a bit watery, aren't we?
We're very yeah, you know, it could you know, there's that, or that sense that we're, is it connection, we're all connected. Do we get a better sense of connection at that? You certainly see, you know, people happier and more connected at the sea and the beach.
Yes, and it's actually also been quite nice, in a weird way, to see a lot of people back on the beach, because we've had 2 years of not much of that happening, or when it did happen, it was like everybody came and it was just really horrible.
But then again, people that complained about the beaches being too busy weren't the people on the beach. They were all really happy. They still loved it. It's like, I've only got this little space in my towel, but they're really happy next to me, and they're really happy next to me. There seemed to be a buzz about it. So I do think it's more than the sum of its parts, and I think perhaps it is a connection that we feel, that we are more open, more connected.
I do have to say that I do like it best in the morning.
Oh,
when there's hardly anybody there, and I can swim in the sea, and I can think this is my private kind of swimming pool, and I can just look at this and just take in that kind of, you know, atmosphere.
But I guess what I'm saying is, even in the less idyllic, it's still refreshingly wonderful for people. So it's not just because we're on one person on the beach in Barbados. Of itself, it seems to have a magic.
It is magical.
Perhaps it's just because we know it's been going on for millennia. That the beach was here before the
sea
tiny
comes in, the sea goes out. The sea comes in, the sea comes out. Yeah, that's the thing.
Maybe it makes less of our problems. Like whatever happens, it will come and go.
I know. So
anyway, we were supposed to come up with some answers, but
no, we're just endlessly grateful and a bit smug that we live near the beach, I have to say.
But visit the beach.
Visit the beach if you can.